Hello there, my Scorpio collective. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Scorpio, what is up with your energy? Oh, I love your energy, but oh my goodness, it's that. Oh, look. So, you got the hangman sideways here, so you're looking at things from a completely different perspective. Oh, the Aries energy. Those of you with Aries rising, or some of you, something hasn't got that much of an emotional hold or control on you anymore. Maybe some of y'all, it's this Empress, this Emperor energy. Oh, you Scorpios, look at y'all go. Watch your favorite astrologers, Scorpios. I definitely feel like your energy is weird. I don't know who the fuck, Scorpio, your energy keeps coming up like Scorpion vibes. So, I'm telling anyone when Scorpio shows up, if you live somewhere where you have to deal with scorpions or like fire ants or some shit like that, I don't know, make sure you're always wearing like sensible shoes. So what's up? I with the Wheel of Fortune. I with the Five of Pentacles, there with the Ace of Cups, there with the Libra vibe. Oh, yeah, that balance is coming in, but someone don't like it. Someone don't like it. This is like when the fountain energy, right? Some of you, someone was making a bunch of wishes or some sort of expectations with regard to you, but something didn't quite work. Work, love, life vibes with this, with you Scorpios. Those of you, if you're going through something on like a spiritual vibe, I don't know, maybe some of y'all talk to your clergy instead of trying to make sense of something that really, it's so interpersonal to you that it should bring you like peace and guidance instead of leaving you like stuck or stagnant. You should find like a happiness vibe with you. Some of you like changing up your look and just you're looking very different. It's a very interesting vibe with you. Some of y'all could be eating more cabbage, or those of you that like what are those puffball mushrooms that you can get? Or maybe some of y'all are eating more cauliflower. Maybe you're doing more root vegetables. I have the Queen of Swords. There with the Ten of Swords. There with the Two of Swords. Oh my goodness. There at the Eight of Cups. Oh my goodness. Oi, Scorpios. There's like a tad bit of, there's something here that's interesting. I don't know if you're not like the religious one or you're not like this is like a religious energy. The Queen of Swords there with the Ten of Swords, the Two of Swords there with that Eight of Cups. Oh my god, you know what this is giving that energy of that song? Doing something unholy. So I don't want to sing the first part, but y'all get the point of it. And there's a Sagittarius vibe. Lord have mercy. I don't know if you're going through something on a religious vibe here. I feel like some of you talk it out with your clergy. Some of you, maybe you're interested in, you're looking at like religion or some of you, this is way too much of a religion based. So I don't know if there's trouble in the church house. Sagittarius always gets trouble in the church house vibes. So some of you, this is, I don't know, maybe you're not going to get that position that you want, or some of you with regard to how you're viewing things, or someone might not like how the fuck you're dressing or how you're looking or sort of the energy with you. There at that Eight of Cups. Some of you, it's just way too perplexing. You need to just kind of sit down and focus on you. With the Hanged One there in the sideways position with you, some of you, this is that energy of get off the cross, somebody needs a wood type vibe. So I don't know what the fuck it is. Things aren't working out, but at the same time, they are working out. But some of y'all, the balance isn't quite there yet. Water always finds its natural balance anyway, Scorpio. So some of you, it may take you a minute. So there's Aquarius, there's the Seven of Cups. There's the High Priestess energy, and there's the Three of Cups. This is like Father, Son, Holy Ghost vibes. This is kind of how you're looking at things and how you're like not looking at things. Some of you don't like overwhelm yourself. If you're like, Well, if you're a religious person, right, you go to church every Sunday, you're probably not supposed to be watching tarot readings, right? So some of you are trying to just mesh too much of everything together in order to make some sense of something, and you just end up like staying stuck or stagnant. You just end up just coming a little short of making like the right choices, the right options, the right opportunities. Oi, Scorpios. Some of you, this is almost given like a generic vibe. I think with the Scorpio energy, it's kind of like the scorpions. It's scorpions and fire ants. Um, those of you, if you live anywhere where you have to sort of contend with that, make sure that you're all the time wearing like closed toed shoes, so that way you ain't gonna be stepping on some scorpions or fire ants. Some of you, if you're like doing something new, you move to a place and that's something you need to be mindful of. Some of you, it almost feels like there's a nest energy. So I don't know if you're going camping or some shit like that. Make sure that you're paying attention to what you need to. I feel like more of the practical sort of choices with you is going to be more interesting here, Scorpio, than maybe some of you trying to go down that um, religious philosophy type vibe, because you're just going to keep kind of, it's almost like contradicting yourself, or you're trying to make sense of what doesn't make sense, and at the same time you just end up confusing yourself even more. The Five of Pentacles there with that Ace of Cups is given that sort of a wishing well vibe. So, um, uh, I don't know if your expectations are too much when it comes to something, or some of you, you're continually not feeling like your expectations are being met, but you're kind of allowing it to overwhelm you to the point that you're not like paying attention to what you need to pay attention to. Because I don't think there's any religion that wants you watching tarot. So it's kind of like how you're looking at things and how you're trying to understand things. That could be what kind of keeps you a little stuck or stagnant. Those of you, if you're wanting to go back to church, or those of you with regard to how religion is when it comes to how you're viewing things right now, have a good conversation with your clergy. Some of you, I feel like you almost need to learn to focus on one instead of trying to take everything in and just be overwhelmed. Um, so water always finds its natural balance here, its natural level, but you also need to make sure that you're kind of allowing, instead of just keep overwhelming yourself with things. Especially those of you that haven't taken communion for a while, or those of you, maybe you're wanting to get baptized, or you're kind of looking at the energy here to see what like your options or your opportunities are. This is when you kind of get into that it matters to you, and you got to make sense of, for some of you, of things that don't make sense, and but you can't overwhelm yourself either. So this is like, if you're feeling a little sad and depressed, don't sit there and just listen to sad music all fucking day. Don't just sit there and listen to every kind of negative vibe. Some of you, don't overwhelm yourself with the kind of what ifs energy here, and kind of focus on something that could bring you more sort of peace, love, and light energy. If it ain't bringing you peace, love, and light, then you don't need it, right? So make sure that you're prioritizing that. I hate Capricorns. I love this, but you kind of need to decide. Some of you kind of need to decide here, so that way you're not just focusing on like anything. Because I don't think any religion wants you watching tarot. So it's like you got the religious aspect of something, and then some of you with regard to how you're viewing other things, and you're keeping yourself more stuck than what you are moving forward. This really feels like you keep asking for a sign. Some of you, you keep like you're making wishes, you're saying your prayers, you're doing everything, right? but you're just kind of overwhelming yourself. So you need to make sure that you're prioritizing things so you're not just stuck in that trying to understand something energy. I mean, the Five of Pentacles gives like the stigmata vibes, right? With the Temperance Angel energy here, this is how are you viewing things? Some of you looking at things from a little different perspective. Some of you, I feel like if you sit down and talk to your clergy, things might make more sense, but you kind of needed to, I don't see you need to choose one over the other, but when you're in this kind of figuring out what makes sense to you, you also don't want to overwhelm everything. So, you know, if you start putting on a moisturizer that you like, but then the next thing you know, you got like 20 moisturizers on your face, and it's kind of like, yeah, what's the fucking point of that? Prioritizing things, looking at things differently, not being overwhelmed, not letting your emotions overwhelm you. Some of you, if there's like a religious vibe to this, go talk to clergy. Some of you, that might bring you more sort of peace, love, and light energy. Those of you, if this could be like maybe you go to church and maybe there's a little sort of vibe going on, because you're pulling Sagittarius energy, and Sagittarius always gets trouble in the church house vibes. So this could be regard to like a work option with you, or some of you, maybe you didn't get that position that you wanted. The balance isn't there yet, and it's going to take you all a minute. But make sure that you're not trying to overwhelm yourself as well. Because that is given like Father, Son, Holy Ghost vibes. And then with the Seven of Cups, this is you're looking at different sort of vibes. So maybe you're trying chakra alignment. Maybe you're doing yoga. Maybe you're looking at everything from a different perspective. But you just continually end up like overwhelming yourself. To the point of you're not quite sure. Some of y'all, I do like the astrology. Make sure that you pay attention to your favorite astrologer, because that's a little more grounded and focused when it comes to you. A little less of the sort of esoteric vibe or all that sort of religious sort of energy here. Some of you don't try to do too fucking much either. So you're gonna have to prioritize one over the other and kind of make sense of what doesn't make sense. Because a lot of you, this is that makes sense of what doesn't make sense. Faith, love, hope. Some of you like really talk it out with your clergy. If you're in a church, you go to church. Maybe this is something you need to talk about with your clergy. Some of you kind of need to learn to pick one, so that way you're not. If you're praying, then focus on the praying vibes and see where that goes. If you're looking at like other sort of vibes, you need to just sort of take your time with something. Some of you, you're not getting the signs that you wanted. So you're like expecting this sort of divine guidance. Like you're going to get like the directions. You're going to get this sort of intuitive how to, and it kind of doesn't work that way. Or some of you, what you're paying attention to isn't exactly what the hell the sort of vibe is here. Some of you with your astrology, if you've got a lot of water in your astrology, most definitely. Pay attention to the astrology of something, because some of you need to learn how to spot. So it's like the dancers or the ice skaters that do the spins, right? They learn how to focus on one thing, so when they go around, they don't get all dizzy and shit like that. So some of y'all need to learn how to kind of do that. You're focusing on one thing and not allowing yourself to be overwhelmed. For some of you, it could seem a little overwhelming, but it's only because you're dealing with things that really, it's so personal, and you know how that kind of works with regard to you, and what's that about with regard to you. Some of you almost feel like you either want to go back to church, or if you're in like a church sort of vibe, maybe you need to sit down and talk to your clergy. The sort of guidance and direction you need is for some of you, it can get overwhelming if you're trying to, or some of you like expecting a whole hell of a lot. Because, I mean, it doesn't really quite work that way. So if you're praying for guidance, it's not like you're gonna get it. And some of you in the neat little easy form that some of you are used to. And then if you start looking at like other things here, it doesn't quite work. But I feel like you could almost be overwhelming yourself here. So you're looking for direction, you're looking for sort of guidance, but at the same time, you're looking for direction and guidance somewhere else, and it's kind of not vibing. You do have a Queen of Swords. It's kind of stuck or stagnant here. But I feel like for those of you with regard to like, if this is like trouble in the church house vibe, maybe someone don't like the new sort of energy you got going on, or some of you with the Five of Pentacles. This is given like the Scarlet Letter vibe, so maybe you're coming across this Hester Prynne, whatever the hell the energy is here. It's really not that deep, it's really not that complicated, but you sure the fuck can't keep overwhelming yourself. You can't keep overwhelming yourself, because you'll never find that balance. I feel like your astrology is kind of doing this as well. So those of you, what's your favorite astrologer? Focus. The astrology energy kind of teaches you how to focus on like one thing, so that way you're not being overwhelmed. And some of you, with whatever you got going on, if you're going through something on a religious level, you know, talk that out with the clergy. Figure out what that means to you. Some of you, don't stay stuck in that Seven of Cups, Three of Cups vibe, especially if you're just cross-watching a lot of readings that aren't really bringing you much guidance. They just keep you stuck or stagnant. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune there with the Page of Cups. Or Knight of Cups. Those of you with Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon, or those of you that's just kind of looking at things or learning to look at things from a different perspective, that brings about a positive movement forward. Not looking at everything as being necessarily a negative or a positive, but understanding it's a beautiful mixture of like both. Some of you that's expecting like all this guidance energy. You're like, some of you could literally be like expecting like stigmatas, or you're wanting like the guidance, but you're wanting it in a way that kind of isn't it. So maybe some of you are learning how to pray, or some of you are learning how to look at things from a different way, and it's a little weird. Weird in a good way. Here you got Aries. There you got the Cancer vibes. Queen of Cups there with the Four of Cups. Who's into like the stigmata vibes here? Some of you, this is like the crying statues. Does someone make a crying statue? I'm sure someone fucking does. Or some of you, are you around somewhere that has a crying statue? I can almost see that in a church, right? Holy. Oh my goodness. Five of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the Nine of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles there to the Hierophant. Some of you Scorpios have a lot of healing to do, and that healing is going to be a little rough. So take your time. Some of you need to like talk this out, work this out, so that way you're able to make sense. For some of you with a lot of things that don't make sense. But there's something interesting here. Some of you, that Hierophant energy, if you're not like a religious or a spiritual person, some of you, that could almost be like the voice of God that you hear. So maybe you had the Emperor vibes there. So maybe you weren't necessarily religious, but maybe you had somebody that sort of instilled a lot of like interesting sort of energy with you, or thoughts or beliefs. The Emperor vibe for a lot of people can be that sort of voice in your head. It's kind of like the voice of God energy. Um, what is it? Was it My Fair Lady that had it? That a lot of people, you kind of have that vibe. Some of you, it's that voice in your head that some of you kind of see as being that sort of guidance energy. I don't know. If you're doing something new, you're experiencing something new, kind of look at it in a way that allows you to be able to grow from this and not stay stuck or stagnant. So you might have a lot of Taurus in your astrology here. So Moon, Rising, Venus. Seven of Pentacles, the Hierophant there with the Ten of Pentacles. Some of you kind of like that sort of stigmata energy yourself. So some of you, this is those of you taking or making any unnecessary risks right now. You got some interesting sort of priorities, some ways you need to look at things here that for some of you could be, it could take you a minute to figure it out. Some of you talking with clergy, especially those of you that are interested in religion. Some of you quit cross-watching all the broken-hearted videos with regard to whatever the hell the energy is you got going on here. You don't want to overwhelm yourself too much, that you can't make sense of the things that you are kind of hard to make sense of anyway. Whatever the hell this is, it has everything to do with you, and it's kind of how you're looking at things, and at the same time not being overwhelmed. Some of you with a job option or a job opportunity. But some of you, you might have been a little too... The Emperor energy is that voice in your head. Oh, astrology isn't being easy on you. So watch your favorite astrologer. Don't overwhelm yourself. Some of you, quit concerning yourself with a relationship or partnership. And prioritize relations and partnerships that are important to you. Or that would bring maybe a tad bit more of a happier vibe. Boy. Some of you stay optimistic, because some of you, I feel like you're praying or you're asking for guidance, but you don't seem like you're getting it, or you don't feel like you're getting it, or some of you thinking it should be like just so obvious that you can't miss it, but you're not really feeling like you're getting that sort of guidance. I think you are. You're just expecting like too much of a dramatic vibe. Ice Scorpios. Kind of makes sense though. Watch your favorite astrologer, Scorpios. Water always finds its natural levels, so make sure that you take the time that you need. Some of you quit like trying to overwhelm yourself. You're wanting answers that are not really there, or some of you, you're like looking for solutions, but you're like overwhelming yourself. Those of you wanting to get back into church, some of you, I feel like if you talk it out with clergy, that might bring you a little bit more a sense of guidance, hope, peace. I like this energy with you. You're not really stuck or stagnant, but you're also not really going anywhere as well. I like that for you. I like you in this red cloak energy as well, because that's giving like the cardinal vibes. So it's you need to stay in that energy for a minute and just sort of focus on yourself. And not everything is going to be overwhelming. And some of you, you're really not going to get the answers. So, But how you look at that, look at you go, Scorpios. Good luck, God bless, peace, love, and light.